What's up, my fellow headbangers? I'm Courtney, aka the Versatile Virgo, and welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, I run a blog, theversatilevirgo.com, which focuses on all things heavy music, including but not limited to musically inspired recipes and outfits, interviews, reviews, and so much more. And today that more includes musically inspired fossils.
What?
Yes, you heard me correctly. Today we are talking about musicians so legendary that they even have fossils named after them. And I know what you're thinking, Virgo, we know you like heavy music to be involved with everything, but fossils? But I'm not making this up. There's even a traveling exhibit called Rock Fossils, which features these fossils that are named after rock and metal musicians. Apparently, paleontologists are big heavy music fans, at least according to Audrey Roberts, who is one of those scientists studying the history of life on Earth through fossil records. In regards to this exhibit, Audrey Roberts said the exhibition shows maybe that paleontologists have a little humor, and I think many of them like heavy music. And recently, there was even one metal musician who had the honor of being added to this list, and that musician was none other than Tony Iommi. And of course, the comments on social media are saying, shouldn't Tony Iommi be offended? They're basically saying he's as old as dirt, but there are a good bit of musicians that have fossils named after them, and I think that's really cool. I have a lot of weird interests. So in today's video, I thought we'd do something a little bit different and take a look at these fossils themselves. So sit back and let's take a look at some fossils while I pronounce a whole lot of names wrong. I figured we'd start with the fossil that started it all, at least in terms of the inspiration for today's video, which was the fossil that was just recently named after Tony Iommi. This fossil is 469 million years old, and that fossil's name is Noistotodus? Drepanoistotodus Iommi? Drepanoistotodus Iommi. I'm sticking with it. And this fossil specifically is the discovery of a new species of conodonts. Conodonts? Conodonts. Nobody said the pronunciation in this video was going to be perfect, so just go with it, which are an extinct group of agnathan vertebrates resembling eels. It was discovered by a Danish and Swedish team in Western Russia. The leader of that team is Mats E. Eriksson, who apparently is known for naming fossils after heavy musicians. So now let's take a look at what this fossil looks like. I feel like this one almost kind of looks like a dolphin a little bit, like a dolphin sticking its head out of the water, you know what I mean? On this next one, I'm gonna give you guys the name and then I'm gonna see if you can guess which musician this is. And I promise I'm gonna do my best to not butcher this name like I did the last one. Okay, so this fossil is called Crocodile lemmistochus, I think. Of course, there's only one Lemmy, and this fossil is named after Lemmy Kilmister. This fossil named after Lemmy is of a fierce giant crocodile from the Jurassic era. I do not mess with the Jurassic era. And we all know Lemmy is legendary to begin with, but he's so legendary, he actually has two fossils named after him. The second fossil named after Lemmy is called Caloprion kilmisteri. And this is actually a fossilized worm. So let's take a look and see what it looks like. That thing is gross looking, to be honest. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the fossil itself is cool. I think like discovering ancient species and stuff, I think that's really cool. But I'm good. I don't want to be in a time where this species comes back to life. I'm good. So I'm good on that one. Let's see what other fossils are out there. Okay, so this one is not as easy as the ones named after Lemmy, but let's see if you can guess which metal musician this fossil is named after. Its name is Webster Oprion Armstrongi. Again, I'm probably pronouncing these names wrong. And this 400 million plus year old fossil is of a snake-like monster. Any guesses? If you guessed Alex Webster of Cannibal Corpse, you'd be right. According to this article from Louder Sound, Science Daily reports that the giant unicid species, also known as bobbit worms, are known for their powerful jaws, with Lund University's Mats Eriksson, the same guy with the Tony Iommi fossil, naming the worm Websteroprion armstrongi since, quote, he can be regarded as a giant when it comes to handling his instruments. I feel like that is such an amazing compliment. Like, if I was a musician and you're gonna name a fossil after me and that's the reason you're gonna give as to why, that is a top-notch compliment in my opinion. That was actually not too bad. I wouldn't want to roll up on this creature unsuspectingly or anything like that, but it's less nightmare-inducing than the worm that is named after Lemmy. This next fossil is called Kingknights diamondi, and it specifically is the remains of a marine worm with jaws. What is with all these freaky worms? I'm good. I don't need worms with jaws. I personally believe that there's probably tons of species that we still haven't discovered yet that are out there, especially if you want to talk like in the deep, deep ocean and things like that. So I just want to say, I hope I never run into any of these worms out there with jaws, for example. I'm good. I'll take regular worms all day long. Worms with jaws? No thanks. With a name like Kingknights diamondi, this fossil could only be named after, of course, King Diamond. So this is what Kingknights diamondi looks like. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna have you guys stop trying to guess based on just the name itself, because the next couple that we're going to get into are definitely names I know I'm going to butcher. So just, not that I didn't butcher the other names, but just bear with me on this. This fossil is called Kiliania graffini. I think it's called Kiliafina. Wait, what? This next fossil is called Kiliania graffini, named after Greg Graffin of Bad Religion. Also, quick side note if you didn't know this, but Greg Graffin is also apparently a PhD holding professor of evolutionary biology. So having a fossil named after him is obviously, in general, is a huge compliment, but I feel like for him this would be like a really, really big compliment, like life-changing compliment. You know what I mean? He also has a PhD in zoology. This fossil named after him represents the discovery of an ancient bird fossil. That's pretty cool. Henry Rollins also has a fossil named after him. I feel like Henry Rollins always pops up in the most unexpected places. The Wrong Turn movies, fossils, you name it, he's everywhere. But seriously, when I was doing the research for this video, I didn't expect to see Henry Rollins' name as one of the people that have fossils named after them, but I also wasn't surprised. And the fossil named after Henry Rollins is called Rollinschata myoplana, I think. This fossil was named after Henry Rollins specifically because it's actually fossil muscle tissue that was discovered, which I guess is pretty rare according to this article. Dr. Jacob Vinther said, while carrying out the research, we informally referred to the creature as the muscle worm due to its preservation in almost pure muscle. Part of the reason why it's preserved so well by muscle is that it was, in real life, a very buff little worm. Fireworms are active during the daytime on coral reefs and other environments with strong currents, which makes them much more muscular compared to most other bristle worms. Okay, so there's muscular worms, worms with jaws. Any other type of worms I should be concerned about? This fossil to me almost kind of looks like a snake a little bit, or like a snake's skin, I guess. Which I guess probably shouldn't be surprising because snakes are very strong and apparently this worm was very strong. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So those are the fossils that are officially named after rock and metal musicians. It's also worth noting that Sid Vicious did have a dinosaur skeleton nicknamed after him as well, but I couldn't confirm if that was ever officially named after him. And I guess there was some legal battles surrounding it. So the information I found around that particular fossil was a little confusing and I didn't include it in this video because of that, but I thought I'd just mention it just in case. So which one did you think is the coolest? Or which one do you think is the creepiest? I think all of them are really cool, but that Caloprion Kilmisteri, the worm named after Lemmy, I can't unsee that one. That was nightmare inducing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you like this video, also give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I post once a week and I have even more heavy music related videos coming out soon. Also, for more metal lifestyle content, check out my blog, theversatilevirgo.com, and keep up with me on Instagram. I've linked both of those in the description below. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay heavy.